Today I'm going to be talking about running traps in fantasy grounds. But hold up! Before we jump into killing your players unfairly, here's the video breakdown. First, I'm going to go over running crappy traps. Second, perception checks and initiative. Third, the types of traps and how to run them. Let's talk about running crappy traps. I've run terrible traps too, so go ahead and grab your tea now as I'll tell you why to throw them out as soon as it happens. We all want those exciting moments of peril, but as soon as your players get hit by one of those 1d8 dart traps, you're now into a 10-foot pole march, or one hefty boy walking down the hallway. If that's all you brought to the table on traps, then let the players cheese it and move past this part of the game. So now that you're drinking your second cup with fervor, let's talk about Jumanji. Is there a timetable to this dungeon, or can your players take a 5-foot step and pat the tile in front of them, camping whenever they take damage? If there's nothing stopping them from full heal every 10 feet, then your dart trap is more than useless. Still want that dart trap? Then make it wreck someone. Now you're going to get complaints that you're not being fair. It wasn't. You've got to warn them. Well, or at least give them lives. Let's talk more about running traps later and move on. Perception checks and initiative. You'll have everyone roll a perception check as soon as they enter the dungeon. I'd also have everyone roll an initiative. You'll use the perception until someone, anyone, causes a trap to occur. At that point, everyone will roll again. Initiative, on the other hand, will only be reset after combat breaks out. If you have an on-initiative trap, they're going to gain the initiative of the person who triggered them. Types of traps and running them. There are lots of types of traps, so let's go through a handful as we explore this dungeon. You can token lock for those players who are a little pesky and like to move around. First up's the pit trap. Typically, very boring. So how can we liven that up? I'm going to use two different techniques here. The first one being, you're not down there alone. So let's use Jerry, my continual target of demise, to walk haplessly into pit. Now the true reveal is that she has some snakes to contend with. But wait, there's more. I'm also going to throw It's an Ambush. Now the party above must contend with the kobolds, while Jerry figures out on her own how to get out. The players must now contend with falling into other pits as the kobolds try to end them. Let's clear the slate for the party and stand them before the next challenge. Now we have a soft hit leading to death. Giving the players the warning of the death part, it's a must. Dead bodies are the best choice. Context clues like blood trails or ash marks will work if your players are cautious. I like to make sure the characters, not the players, can solve the puzzle. They should be given clues for use of their character skills. In this particular scenario, Jerry's going to begin walking down the tiles without being able to read Dwarven. We're going to roll a d4 for each 5 foot she travels, with a 4 being the correct ruin. The first step she takes, a dart shoots out. Emboldened by that miss, she's going to walk gallantly down the hall. The corridor begins slamming shut behind her. Explain this openly to the player. Each 5 feet on the wrong tile is going to get you shot at, but the walls are slamming shut behind you, so you've got to move quickly. You're going to make a dexterity save, or you're going to get caught by the walls. Now this isn't a hard trap for mid to high level players to get around. Let them get around it. Once the players figure out how to travel the hallways, don't bog down the game with forcing them to relive each roll. If they are getting chased in the hallway, let them make a perception check to keep on the right tiles. Now, let's see an instant death trap. A warning should always be present on an instant death trap. One of my favorites is just to have them see it happen. But if not, make sure there's plenty of evidence that it has killed before. Now this is where many people might get upset, but I'm going to allow a cautious and foolhardy player a saving throw. Someone's going to put their arm in it, maybe a hand, foot, but they're going to poke it. Chop it off. Do it. Your finger is gone. Your hand is gone. Did they say, I take a step? Roll dex save to avoid death. Say it just like that. And if they fail, roll that deadly trap dice and let them die on the same side of the death field. So remember, roll perception before they run into any traps. Keep those clocks ticking, up the stakes, and make those traps spicy.